African Safari Wildlife Park is a wild experience with over 800 exotic animals. Our drive-through safari features giraffes, zebras, deer, elk, alpacas, and even a white bison, all of which you can feed right from your vehicle. Walk on the wild side with a Zoo-It-All pass and feed kangaroos, porcupines, tortoises, and rabbits. Step into our aviary adventure and hand-feed budgies for a memorable experience. Check out our live educational shows or ride a camel. Create memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio Safari Park, African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And, of course, Jennifer here to start your morning. Typically, our good friend Pete Wilson is here, but we're mixing things up a little bit. He's going to be here the second part of the show because we have a very special guest here today, and that is our good buddy, Justin Gambino. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's right. And we feel as if, so Justin and I were talking off the air, and his people called my people, and we're twinning today.
Yeah.
And then we decided that twinning is winning.
Twinning is winning. Yeah, we totally did not plan this.
Oh.
We can say that we did, but we totally didn't.
We totally did not, but that's okay because now we look cool, like we're like Johnny Cash or something.
We look official, like we came prepared.
Yes, that's right. But Justin here is performing at the Markay this coming weekend. So thank you for stopping by and taking time out of your day to come see us.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm used to Central Time, so it feels like 8:06.
Oh, so no.
That just goes to show you
if my watch worked, I would.
That just goes to show you how much I care. I really want to be here because I'm tired. I drove in from Texas yesterday.
So are you from Texas or you live in Texas?
Yeah, I live a little bit south of Houston, but kicking off the tour here in Jackson is actually rescheduled from last year.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be here.
Darn COVID.
It's all right.
Get you.
It is what it is.
No, so wait, you said I just drove in from Texas.
Seriously?
Like it was Columbus or something. Like you don't just drive in from Texas. Like
I did though.
How long is that?
I did it in 27 hours and I slept for 6 of them.
Hopefully not while you were driving.
No, not while I was driving. Do I look well rested?
You do.
Good. It's because I am. I slept through the night, so it's good.
Well, that's an amazing thing. Okay. So you have that last name Gambino, and I know we have some friends here in Jackson with the last name of Gambino, and that would be Mike and Becky.
Yeah.
Maker of the world famous Kiwanis spaghetti sauce and many other things along the way.
Yes.
So are you related to them?
Yes. So I am related to them. They are cousins of mine. I guess second cousins, maybe.
Okay.
Because my dad and them, they're first cousins.
Okay.
I think I have that right. So I've only known Mike and Becky for like the last 4 years, though.
Really?
Yeah. So my dad's dad kind of went off and did his own thing, and we never really knew him.
Oh.
Growing up as kids, we just met him once when we were little kids, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And Mike and Becky, we got acquainted through them or through Facebook with them, like 4 years ago. We're like, oh, we have family in Ohio, which is really cool. And it's like for me, it's been like a huge blessing because every time I'm coming through Ohio now, like I have family to stay with, I have a place to rest my head.
Sure.
And great food.
Great food and great people.
Great people.
Yes.
Yes,
they absolutely are. So you are performing, I guess, well, let's start off talking a little bit about, yourself. How did you end up in Texas? Did you grow up there?
I grew up in Texas. I'm a Texas boy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born
Well, you
and
don't
raised
talk
in
like
Texas.
we do here.
I think I've been on the road for quite some time.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, and some people say, like, you don't sound like you're from Houston. You sound like you're from California or maybe not the East Coast, but I've been on the road for like the last 4 or 5 years, quite a bit. I mean, except through the season of COVID, I was home and grounded for quite a bit. But it was awesome because I got to spend so much time with my wife, which is usually not the case when I'm on the road.
Sure.
So it was definitely something to be thankful for. But yeah, born and raised in Texas, and sometimes just living on the road.
Well, very good. So we're happy to have you here in Ohio and in Jackson and performing again this weekend at the Markay. So we're excited about that. So let's talk about about your music and what kind of music are you singing? You brought your guitar, so we're going to hear some stuff.
I have it right here.
From you. He may sing us a song or two. But tell us about your music.
Yeah, so I got started in the church, started leading worship with my youth praise team for a long time, and then started like kind of leaving the music scene a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't even call it the music scene then, just because I was doing it just kind of unofficially in the church, you know, for fun. And so I joined the Navy for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated.
I joined the Navy, and then 2013, that's whenever I really felt like my passion for music was like, just like, you know, it
just needed to come out.
It was rising up on the inside, and just could not contain it anymore. So the songs that I was writing for a few years at that time, just really doors started opening for me to like start recording. And so 2013, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then 2015, I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job. And then 2017, I really started touring quite a bit. So
it's
been about 5-6 years, yeah.
Very good. So now, do you have a whole band? Do you perform by yourself? How does that work?
It just depends. Like this show here at the Markay in Jackson, I will actually have my drummer and my cellist with me. So it'll be kind of like a trio performance, which is going to be really fun. It's always really fun whenever I get to have them join me on the road. And it's not, you know, it's not typical for me to start the tour, number one, away from home, and number two, like with like a trio performance, because trios are like my favorite.
Oh,
like,
good.
They're like, I mean, even like, I mean, full band is fun.
Yeah.
And I do some full band stuff back home because, you know, the other half of the band
because your band is there.
Is in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah. But my drummer that's from Philadelphia, his name's Joshua. He's in the band.
Okay.
And then Jonathan, he plays bass. He actually lives north of Dayton in Troy, Ohio.
Great.
And so he usually plays bass, but Saturday he's going to break out the cello and make
fun.
that sing. And so that's going to be fun. Yeah.
That's so cool. So how did you hook up with these people?
Just
They're kind of from all over.
Yeah, you know, I think in life, you know, just the same thing as what I've been experiencing the last 27 hours on the road. All these roads intersect, you know, all these roads, you know, everyone's on this journey. And every once in a while you come up to a four-way stop and, you know, and you're just like, oh, go ahead. Oh, no, you go ahead. Hey, what's your name? Oh, you know, it's just small talk, you know, whenever you're on the road. And that's how I met Joshua. I met him at a show whenever I was performing in, I think I was in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Maybe. Yes, I was in Dover, New Hampshire. I met Joshua, the drummer. And then it was a couple years ago, my first time performing at the Markay, whenever I met Jonathan, who's playing cello. Because I had called the Columbus Symphony something or the other, and I was like, I need some people that play cello really well. I need to book someone for a show. And so I booked Jonathan to play cello. So if you were at the Markay in 2019, that was like the first time Jonathan and I ever met. Like that morning.
No way.
That morning we met and we've become best friends since. Fun fact.
It's like a blind date with music.
It is, yeah. Like it was so funny because he came to Mike and Becky's house, and he said, "All right, you can just hear me out and let me play for a little bit, and you can fire me, or before you even hire me, or we can just see how this works." And he played for like 10 seconds, and I thought, this is gonna be great.
This dude is cool.
Yeah. So we've become like best friends.
That is so good. I love that story.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about the kind of music that you play, and do you write your own songs, or how does that work?
I write my own songs. Yeah. So a lot of my stuff it really gears towards like inspirational music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got my start as a worship leader, so that's like just a huge staple in like who I am.
Sure.
And so a lot of the stuff that I write, there's some songs out there that are like from my own struggles and whatnot, life experiences, or some songs that just straight up about death.
Okay.
And so a lot, but all of it is really geared towards that, that finding hope in the midst of chaos kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just say that's pretty fitting considering the past year we've all had.
Yeah.
We all need
Yeah.
a little bit of faith and
Yeah.
inspiration, if you will.
And that's why I really wanted to call it the Revival Tour.
I love
I
that.
kind of feel like after this season, I even myself on a personal level, just feel like it just kind of grounded me.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I think of grounded, I think of just like, just laying flat. It's like I just kind of feel like I can't get up from this place, and just at least for myself, like I needed revival.
I love it.
And so it's called the Revival Tour. So if you're looking for
fantastic.
hope, come on out to the Markay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Saturday at 7.
That is so cool. All right, so you were recently featured in you say it because I'm going to say it wrong. What was it? And you did this really cool video that I got to
Yeah.
see this morning.
Yeah.
Are we going to play that, or are you going to play it live?
Is it my latest song?
The one that was up on the hotel we were just
Well,
talking about.
we did a music video with another artist. That was his song.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of like a promo thing that we
For
did
the showcase.
for the showcase.
Okay, I
yeah.
gotcha.
So it was called the You God's Music Showcase.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a Christian version of The Voice, if you will. They've only been doing it for, I think they launched the idea like 5 years ago, and then they started having showcases the last 2 years. It was like their second annual
That's awesome.
You God's Music Showcase. And I literally like joined this showcase and submitted a song just because a friend was doing it. I didn't think anything of it. And so now here I am like 60 days later, and like these, people can go online and vote for your song and vote for you as an artist and all that stuff. So people are voting, and I find myself in the top 5.
Yay! Good for you.
It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool experience. Up until that point, and then the showcase starts contacting me, and they said, "Okay, where do you want to fly out of? Like, we're gonna fly you in, put you up, feed you, and we're gonna do this big showcase where you're gonna perform live for a live audience and 3 judges." And I was thinking, what have I got myself into?
Right. This is not what I signed up for, I don't think.
I read most of the fine details, And then like whenever I made it to the top 5, this is true story. When I made it to the top 5, or maybe the top 25, I was like, okay, if I win this thing, what do I win? I started
You were
reading
like,
it.
oh, wait, this is actually kind of real.
I started reading it, and I'm like, oh wow, this could be good. This could be big, And so, and it's not like I was like downplaying it or just kind of writing it off, but like I was also planning this tour at the same time all this voting was happening.
I guess you went in very humble. Let's just say it that way.
Maybe so. I try to be humble to the best of my ability, and so then I made it to the top 5, and they were asking me about like what airline I wanted to fly and all this stuff, and I thought, wow, this is cool. And so we went. It was so this weekend will be 2 weeks ago. I went to San Antonio, performed in front of the 3 judges, live audience. I mean, it was a bucket list venue too. I mean, it's the Tobin Center, downtown Riverwalk in San Antonio, seats 1,300 people. I mean, it's just who was it? Who's that really famous comedian? Big guy, fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. You know what I'm talking about? He's nodding his head over there. So he performed there the week before.
Oh, cool.
So it was like huge venue, and I'm thinking to myself, this is
Here I am.
yeah. Here I am.
Now what?
and this entire band is backing me that learned my song. I've never met these guys before, but they're like top-notch musicians.
Yeah.
I think our rehearsal time was like 4 minutes. We just like started it on stage. I just
That's
I just
terrifying.
kind of started walking off the stage like, you guys are good. We can do this. So it was pretty terrifying, yes, but after an hour into the showcase, and they called all the contestants back up, and we have our little X's on the stage, and they're telling us to stand here, and then all the lights go out, and they're like, showcase winner is, and they said my name. Isn't that wild? And the confetti cannons blew up in my face, and
You're like,
and I'm like,
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
What did I win?
I got emotional. Yeah, I definitely got emotional.
That is so
that's cool.
great.
Yeah, so that basically means that I now get to, the showcase is now funding my next music recording, and we're going to do it in Nashville, and they're going to do a video shoot, a photo shoot, like the whole, like publishing contract, everything.
They're taking care of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Well, you earned it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you're cool.
Thank you.
That's really awesome. So in the fine print, what did you win?
So like part
Once you figured it out.
I could look back at my phone. I screenshot it on my phone. I don't know everything off the top of my head. I can't remember everything.
Did you get like a new car or anything?
No,
Oh,
I didn't get a
darn
new
it.
car.
Okay.
I didn't get a new car. No.
But you get to record.
I get to record new music. Yeah, in
That's
Nashville.
awesome.
At like a really, really nice studio that I've always wanted to go record at, but never could afford it before. So, yeah.
And this guy's playing in Jackson on Saturday.
Yeah,
Right
at the
here.
Markay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I was listening to some of your songs this morning, and I think what you said about, hope and inspiration and all of that is very true. As I was listening to them, I was feeling uplifted, and that's so good. That's what we all need right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And especially right now. I mean, we all need that anyway, but
Yeah.
especially right now. It
But
just
I think
seems
now
like,
we're all finding ourselves kind of, I won't use the saying like, oh, we're all in the same boat or anything like that, like, 'cause that's not true. Like,
Right.
we're all in the same storm, but we're all
Yeah.
in different boats, but like, it's something that all of us have experienced now firsthand. And so like, and we're all just, I don't know, kind of navigating these waters, and, and sometimes like, whenever ships pass each other, either they're helping each other or whatever, so I kind of look at it that way, like we're all in the same storm. And
or you're firing cannons at each other, one or the other.
Yeah, don't do that.
We hope it's not that.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of that over the last year and a half.
We have.
With all the riots and all that stuff that was happening last year, it was just really wild. And so, you start to think like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And so, just I don't know. I always try not to go with the flow. Try to get upstream a little bit from all that other stuff, and
I love that. That's so good. So what inspires you?
Man, just everyday things inspire me. It could be, so the last year and a half, this is funny. The last year and a half, I've been growing pine trees. That's weird, huh? I've been growing pine trees during COVID, and I have found some inspiration through pine trees. Seriously, that sounds weird.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I
but
love
like,
it.
I mean, I just say that just to say that, like, I mean, really, I draw inspiration from just about anything.
Yeah.
There's times like, I mean, okay, so I read this message that a friend of mine, I need to respond to him, but this guy that I served in the Navy with, he messages me like 2 days ago, and he was congratulating me for winning the showcase.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen this guy, and I think the last time I saw this guy was 2007, and we were serving, we were doing a tour in Iraq. And so I haven't seen him in, what is that?
What, 14 years? Yeah.
And he messages me and he says, hey man, just want to say congratulations on your win. It's huge, it's awesome. He said, I got quite tickled the other day whenever my family and I he's from Arkansas, I think. But he said we were driving through Texas, and family and I were driving through South Texas and with the radio on, and one of your songs come on the radio. And he said, I just thought to myself, man, I know this guy.
That's so cool.
And so it was just really cool, someone that I haven't seen in person like the last 14 years messages me like something like that, and it's little things like that I'll pull inspiration from and write a song about. Or someone else's journey, whether it's, battling cancer or something like that, like I draw inspiration from that. So I think it's just I don't know, like for me, like I try to just pay attention to those little things.
Yeah.
Not just write them off, and really just
stop to smell the roses, if you will.
Kind of thing. Yeah, or the pine trees.
Or the pine trees. You are one step ahead of me.
I am.
Okay, back to this
yeah.
pine tree thing. Are there a variety of pine trees? Are they in the ground? Are they in pots? Like, what are you doing with pine trees?
They're both in the ground and in the pots. And my wife has officially labeled me a tree hugger.
I love it.
So
Does she think you're insane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there with you, sister.
Probably.
But that's okay.
Probably not. Probably wouldn't use the word insane, but deeply troubled. And so, yeah, like, it was kind of crazy. Like, we had this really wet winter.
Okay.
Okay, and I couldn't mow the lawn. It was just too wet. The ground was super saturated. I would just rut up the yard if I tried mowing, right?
Well, you just said mow the lawn in winter. We don't understand that here.
In
so.
Texas, it's a thing. And so, couldn't mow, because we don't get snow down there. Like, it's
Right.
just, we just get a lot of rain. And could not mow. And COVID was like a distant, like something off in the distance. Like, you know, like you could see it. But it wasn't like right
Wasn't
in front
there.
of you. Yeah. Where you would hear about it. And so, like, there was like talks of like possibly like some shows canceling and stuff like that. And so, like, I just like if I just let my mind just, you know, go to town, it'll go to town without me. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just had to get my mind off of it. And I started like really paying attention to the lawn that I could not mow. And there are thousands upon thousands of all these little seedlings growing out of the ground.
Sure.
Like pine trees. Because we have really large, mature pine trees on our property.
Yeah.
And so I just got a little sidetracked, and I got these little bitty, you know, seedling pots. And next thing I know, I have like, I don't know, like several hundred dug up on the driveway. And Ashley, my wife, she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I thought, and for me, I kind of felt like, well, if I can't keep the music and my tour alive, like I can keep these alive, like I can, because I'm gonna mow them in a few weeks probably.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like
They're going to be dead.
Yeah. So
They're going to be bye-bye.
yeah, I'm just gonna cut them down.
Yeah.
Well, I probably do that every year, and I just never know. I just never noticed. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, because we experienced something similar at our house. We have some land where I live, and Jamie and I were out, my husband and I were out walking one day, and same thing. You don't notice it. And we stopped, and he said, "Look at all these little baby pine trees everywhere."
So it happened to you too?
But this was a few years ago.
Okay.
And I said, I had no idea. So again, we dug them up and we transplanted them to where we wanted them to be on our property,
Yeah.
and used them as kind of like a wind and sound barrier.
Yeah.
So I'm not making fun of you, because
know you're not,
I
yeah.
did kind of the same
That's cool.
thing. We just utilized them not where they naturally were, but where
Yeah.
we wanted them
How
to
tall
be.
are they now?
They're very large.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have they gotten to like 20 feet yet?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They grow really quickly.
grow really
and they
fast.
grow, and you know, when we first bought our land, we went to the Department of Natural Resources,
Okay.
and you could buy white pine seedlings from
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, let's kind of like fence our property off with those pine trees. So it'd be like a natural
Yeah.
barrier. And those things now, they have to be 30 feet tall. And they were a stick with like 3 needles.
3 little needles.
Yeah, when we first planted them, and that was like 17 years
It's
ago.
so cool to
yeah.
watch them grow.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're like little children, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, my little babies. And we'd have to go out and weed around them and all that, you know, like 100 of them.
I was doing that. I was.
So I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you.
But it's fun. It's therapeutic for
Yeah.
me. So like now I have my little lawnmower with the trailer that's got the little the 15-gallon water tank, and I'm out there, you know, drive to the next one.
So what did you do with all your little pine babies?
There's still a lot in the driveway, and I begged my wife. I said, please water them when I'm gone.
Yes,
Just water them.
my little babies.
Love them.
Yes.
No, yeah, they're like, I don't know, 1 to 2 feet tall right
Isn't
now.
that
Some of them
fun?
are getting up to like 3 feet tall. So, yeah, it's fun.
So there you go. We're not all crazy.
I draw inspiration from pine trees sometimes.
So there you go. Have you written a song about your trees?
No, not yet.
Well, I expect one.
Okay.
When you come back here in a year, I expect one.
I'm gonna be singing a song about
your
pine trees. Are you gonna be in the audience so I can sing it for you?
Sure.
Okay. Deal.
And it's called Jen's song.
Gin song.
I like it.
All one word. Gin song.
gosh,
We're having too
weird.
much fun on this show this morning.
We are. Well, hey, let's let you sing a song and
Okay.
showcase,
Yeah.
your talents, and then we actually, are you ready for this? Have some tickets to give away.
What? Are you serious?
I swear.
We're gonna give away tickets?
We are to
That's
your
awesome.
show on Saturday,
Let's do it. I'm so down.
so we're excited.
Yeah. I got my old trusty guitar here.
Love that. So we had another artist on this week, and he got to laughing because he said, eventually you just start traveling. Your guitar just is with you. Is that how you are too?
Yeah.
It just goes with you.
It goes where I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes where I go, and I like to deck out my guitar cases with stickers.
Love it.
So that's one of my favorite things to do while I'm on the road.
Good.
It makes it look like I'm well traveled.
I love it.
So we were talking about hope earlier. So
Yeah.
I'll sing a song that I released a couple years ago, and it's called "Going Under."
Okay,
I'll do that one.
let's do it.
I mean Jen's song.
There you go. Nope, that's not written yet.
Have you given up hope? Have you lost your way and don't know where to go? 'Cause you don't know where to go. Are you lost at sea? Has the tide taken you further than the eye can see? You're never further than I can see. Calm the storm in your head. Calm the storm before it leaves you for dead. Take a deep breath, hold on tight. You're going under. You're going under. Yeah. Can you still feel me? Do you know deep down that I will never leave? 'Cause I will never leave. You may be going under. Your mind may start to wonder why I would stay. But no, I'm just a breath away. Calm the storm in your soul. Calm the storm before you start to let go. Take a deep breath, hold on tight. You're going under. You're going under. You haven't lost me yet. 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 Don't you fret. You're going under. You're going under. There ain't no sea that's too deep that will keep you from my reach. That will keep you from my reach. There ain't no sin you could hide within that would take you away from me. That would take you away from me. You're going under. But we're going under together.
Woo! That's awesome. Great job.
Thank you. I haven't done that one in a long time.
Love that. And listen, we're not worthy because I certainly have absolutely zero musical talent. So thank you.
That's all right.
Thank you for bringing it to us.
You can play the radio.
I can.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Everybody can play the radio. Yeah. That's
Sure.
musical talent.
Is
You
it?
know it sounds good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's talent.
if that's what you want to say.
Hey.
All right, I love that. Okay, so how are we going to give those tickets away?
Let's see. Yeah, so
we have 3 and 3.
Yeah, we got 3 and 3.
Yeah.
And so I think what we're gonna do. So if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to
Total Media.
To the Total Media YouTube
Total
channel.
Media
So
YouTube channel.
go to YouTube,
Yeah.
like search for Total Media.
Yeah. If you're not
Channel.
already subscribed, subscribe, and then comment your name in the comment section.
Yeah, it's as
And
simple
then
as that.
yeah, and then your name is gonna be on a ticket at will call.
At will
To my
call.
understanding.
Yes.
Right.
For the first 3 people.
First 3 people.
All you have to do, if you're interested in going and seeing this fine young man, because he is super talented, and look how cute he is.
Oh, stop. Thank you.
Yeah, so, do that. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're not already subscribed to Total Media, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Slam it. And then just comment your name. And then the ticket will be at will call for you. Saturday, are you guys open on Saturday? No, Markay. At the Markay, it'll be at will call.
At the Markay, will call.
Yeah, and then the second way you can win a ticket, so we have another 3 tickets.
Yes.
So on my Facebook page, Justin Gambino Facebook page, I have a video that's kind of like, hey Jackson, I'm here. I'm gonna be at the Markay.
Yeah,
Have you seen the
I
video?
saw that. Yes.
Yeah, so I was just like kind of standing in front of my van, just did this little video.
Yeah.
So if you go like my Facebook page, go slam that like button, and then share that video.
Get it.
Share that video, because we can see whenever you share that video.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we're going to give
And then
those
we're
3
gonna
tickets
yeah,
away.
we can see your name on Facebook, and then
Love it.
we can give you the ticket. That'd be awesome.
That would be so
I'd
cool.
love to see you guys at the show.
Yes. And listen, people, when you grow up here in Appalachia, we often complain we don't have a lot to do.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we're not in a big city. Let's
Okay.
just be honest. There's plenty to do, but, we have this talent sitting right here in our studio, and he is going to be performing at the Markay on Saturday evening. And after your show, I feel like people are just going to be, again, uplifted, inspired. What do you hope people get out of your show?
I just hope that, whenever people, so I see it all the time. Whenever people come to my performances, sometimes I can almost see it on their faces that they're going through some sort of
Sure.
battle in life.
Yeah.
And whenever they leave, I don't see that.
Good.
And so
That's fantastic.
my hope and prayer is that whatever people walk in with, weighing on their shoulders, weighing on their mind, that they don't leave with that. They just leave that at the venue. And so, it's really cool to hear, people's stories whenever because I always work my own merch table. I'm always meeting people and talking to people and
Sure.
handing them their CD or signing stuff. And
That's great.
so it's always been my heart to be very intentional and personable and just just talk to people. And
Sure.
because everybody's got a story, and everybody's story deserves to be told. And so, in short, I hope that that people just leave with just this sense of hope, and they can just walk out of the Markay with their heads held high, ready to tackle the next day.
I love that.
So, yeah.
That is perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. And you are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So thank
You're too kind.
you. No, I'm not. Anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty honest.
That's a good thing.
Sometimes brutally.
That's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you got to be honest in life.
Well, you try.
And I wouldn't say sometimes. All the time.
Yeah.
It's good to be honest.
That's right. Well, is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers while you're here and you have, the microphone in front of you?
Yeah, sure. Even if you're not from this area, I encourage you to go to justingambino.com and see where the Revival Tour is going to be headed. And even if you're from Jackson, we'd love to see you Saturday. But maybe you might see a city on the tour that you have family or friends in, and just share that with them. And you can find me on any social media platform, and you can stream and download my music wherever you listen to music. I mean, wherever.
Because our talent is turning on the music. His talent is making it We just get to turn it on.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank y'all for y'all's support.
Oh, thank you. Loved having you here today. Come back anytime you're through the area, and we'd love to have you here.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, good friend Justin Gambino. Go to markaytickets.org to buy the tickets, or you can call the Markay box office and buy those tickets as well. And just a little hint, they're $2 cheaper if you buy them before the day of the show.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yeah. It's $15 in advance, $17 at the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. So, all right, well, get on your way, get rested, and get ready for your show.
All right.
You going to hang out here in town for a little while?
Yeah, we got rehearsals for the next 2 days, so.
Good.
It's going to just lay low, stay in one place, and get some work done, and then
Good.
we'll be at the Markay on Saturday.
Well, very good. Yeah. We'll hope to see you then.
Thank you.
All righty. All right, let's head on over to our Total Media weather forecast is what I was trying to say. There it is, where you can get live local radio on your phone by downloading the app. For today, mostly sunny with highs around 85. So as you can see, those temperatures are working back up again. But that's all right. Tonight, mostly clear, lows around 63. For tomorrow on your Friday, partly cloudy skies, highs around 87. Looking on to Saturday, partly cloudy, highs around 86. And then, of course, on Sunday, mostly sunny with those highs around 90 degrees. So, looks like the beginning of your work week tomorrow, or your work week next week, a little bit higher temperatures. So, but that's all right. 'Tis the season. So our good friend Pete Wilson is here, fresh off vacation.
Correct.
Yes, and you are here to do the news update, and we switched around on you this morning, didn't we, Pete?
That's all right.
Didn't mean to confuse you, but
I don't mind being behind a talent like Justin Gambino.
I
I heard him downstairs singing through the radio. My gosh, the man is good.
He is awesome.
I got the chance to hear a whole concert on Saturday night, so you need to take advantage of that.
Exactly. Get to it, and we'll be so happy to celebrate with him on Saturday. So. So you have some wild news, I think, brewing and that you've been working on. So let's get to telling people what's going on.
Okay, well, there's lots of things that have been happening as usual, here and there on different levels of society, government, community, etc. And I guess the big story this week came out of Wellston. The Wellston City Board of Education met on Monday evening, and this story, by the way, is written up in our Wednesday print edition of the Telegram.
Okay.
Of course, also online on www.thetelegramnews.com, and we'll have a link to Facebook on that as well. But the story was something that had been percolating under the surface for several months, and that is the status of Wellston High School principal Megan Sowers.
Okay.
Megan was put on paid administrative leave late in the school year over a situation after some complaints were filed, and they wanted to look into it and investigate it, and so that's what they did. But even though nothing has been put out publicly on what the issue involved, we can say with certainty that it involved a poem that was written by a Wellston student that was deemed to be racist. All right? And the issue with the principal was how she responded to that or did not respond to that. That became an issue where there were some complaints. And so, so Mrs. Sowers was put on paid administrative leave. There has been an investigation that had been going on since that time. And at Monday night's meeting, I guess the two parties made a decision to part ways. They accepted Megan's voluntary resignation.
Okay.
With the proviso that she be paid for the remaining years that are on her current contract.
Of the contract.
She has 2 more years on her contract, and at least a portion of that is going to be bought out.
Okay.
So she's going to be paid. She is not terminated, and she quit on her own. The school district put out this statement afterwards, and nothing said during the school board meeting. Of course, a lot of these things happening behind the scenes.
That would typically
with
be an
whoever-
executive session
whoever, you know,
deal.
yes, a
or-
lot of executive sessions where I'm sure this was discussed by the board members, but this was the statement that Superintendent Karen Bach put out when I approached her for a little bit more of an explanation than just, you know, the news of the resignation, because the public is very aware that, you know, this was going on. Maybe they didn't know exactly what it was, or they had different versions of it, but, and once again, there was nothing in this statement about, you know, a so-called racist poem and any response to it, but I think that is safe to say that that is what the issue was. But here is what was said in the statement put out by Karen Bach. At a regular meeting on August the 2nd, that of course was Monday evening, the Wellston City School District Board of Education approved Megan Sowers' voluntary resignation from employment with the district effective at the close of business July 30th, 2021. The board agreed to buy out a portion of Ms. Sowers' contract in order to obtain her resignation before the commencement of the 2021-22 school year, 2 years prior to the expiration of her employment contract. This avoided the continued expense of an investigation and had resulted in any determination of wrongdoing by Mrs. Sowers. The board is excited to announce the appointment of Shane Stevens to serve as the new Wellston High School principal and has confidence in his ability to lead the building in providing a quality education to our students, unquote.
Okay.
So basically, Mrs. Sowers was willing to resign if, you know, there was the buyout and she got paid for the contract, which she was granted earlier. And the Board of Education and district leaders, even though the investigation had not been completed, decided it was in the best interest of everybody to pull the plug and go forward with the future
Okay.
with the new
Sure.
principal. And that new principal is Shane Stevens. He has been the assistant principal there at the high school for 4 or 5 years. So he's not a new face.
Okay.
So that was the big news at the Wellston School Board meeting. Excuse me. But there was other information or another development there as well. The Wellston City Schools made their decision on mask and face covering.
Okay.
Of course, you know, all the local districts are doing that. Jackson has decided to, the city schools has decided to generally require face masks in most situations. The Oak Hill Union local schools not requiring face masks in most situations. And of course, there are exceptions where masks have to be worn, and there are exceptions where, thank you, and there are exceptions where if masks are required, they don't have to be worn, like, you know, when the football players are out on the field, that sort of thing. But Wellston decided in a vote of 4-1, the board accepted the recommended policy, mask policy from Superintendent Karen Bach by a 4-1 vote. Board member Gretchen Crabtree voted no on that. She feels, you know, that the overall that the masks are needed. And of course, you know, it's not for most people anyway, a black and white issue. There's pros and cons that
So
you know that you can throw out there.
They
on,
voted to not wear masks?
Yes, they voted not to wear
Okay.
masks, except in certain situations where they are required. Students and drivers on school buses, for instance, they wear masks. Classrooms or areas where physical distancing cannot be maintained, because, you know, they've got the classrooms set up where there is, you know, at least 3 feet, I guess, between desks and like that, and teachers can kind of control where they stand and so forth. Also, carpet, calendar, and circle time, that's when kids get around in a small group together. Also, small group instruction where a clear barrier, because they use barriers too, is unavailable, or when physical distancing cannot be maintained. Teacher requests due to medical or unforeseen circumstances. So there are times where, you know, teachers, because of a medical situation, may not have to wear, you know, a mask. So,
Okay.
so this is the deal in Wellston right now. Superintendent Bach made it very clear that, you know, things can change. This could be a moving target.
Sure.
If there are more cases, or obviously if there is a mandate laid down from the federal, the state, or the local on mask wearing, well, obviously it's a different ballgame. She also has the discretion, and I'm not sure whether board approval would be necessary or not. She also has the discretion to declare that there will be mask wearing just based on what she sees happening locally. One of the things that she made, that she based her decision on was, of course, there are a greatly reduced number of cases locally than what there once was. And of the new cases that have occurred in recent weeks, I'm not sure what that time frame period was that she went back and looked at, only 2 of the 34 cases were in the Wellston area. So, you know, she looked at all that and decided that that this was the recommendation, and the board backed her up. Board members, Brian Kilgore, who is the president, and Betty Jenkins, who's on the board, she's a retired teacher, both of them felt pretty strongly against wearing masks, at least starting out, unless, you know, things change and things get worse. Betty Jenkins pointed out that, you know, the masks just don't go over very well at all with the very young kids, you know, the 5-year-olds and in that age group. And also, she noted, you know, from what she has learned so far, the things that, you know, that you read and hear, that that the cases, even though they're increasing a little bit, they've not been serious, and there's not a lot of them here right now. And so the thought was, you know, we know that things may change, but right now it's too soon to say that we need to make the mask mandatory. So the scoreboard is masks required in the Jackson City School District, masks not required in the Oak Hill and Wellston School District, and we understand in the Vinton County Local School District, that decision will be made or announced Monday at a school board meeting. They have a school board meeting, their monthly meeting coming up on Monday evening.
Okay, so we'll report that back.
We'll certainly let you know. But it certainly is moving in kind of that direction, it looks like, as far as the mask. You've heard the national news. There's several states where there's a lot more cases, and the culprit is the so-called Delta variant. And, you know, you hear a lot of things about the Delta variant. I guess it's too soon to know how much of an impact it will be. It supposedly is much more contagious, but has not resulted in very serious cases either. Also, folks, you know, a lot of debate about whether folks who have been vaccinated should be worried about the Delta variant.
You know, you're right, and I did see, as I turned on the news this morning, I guess Scioto County is getting just nailed with...
I had not seen that or heard that.
Yeah, they said they're like 3 times more than like the state average or something, and I can't... But they were worried because their fair is coming up this next week.
Right,
and
yeah, that would...
Their Scioto County... If you've never been to the Scioto County Fair, holy moly, it is enormous. So they were a little worried about that. So, you know, gosh, where is this thing going, Pete?
Well, it's just kind of hard to know the right thing to do, because, you know, you do want to be careful and you want to be responsible, but you know, you also don't want to be premature in actions that you know are going to create a problem.
Yep.
And that people do not want to deal with.
Right.
You know, but as far as the state is concerned, the state's rolling 7-day average, and this is information I picked up yesterday, of new cases has nearly tripled the past 2 weeks to nearly 1,200 new cases per day. So we are getting a lot of new cases. None of the information I have has had much information about whether the Delta variant is at work here.
Okay.
The spike statewide has also pushed the state to nearly 80 new daily cases per 100,000 residents. Now, that ratio in proportion is very important, because remember, when we were dealing with the other surge and we went through that long period where we were wearing masks and having restrictions, Governor DeWine said the standard was 50 cases per 100,000 residents, and we're over that now. We're all the way up to 80. We were under 50. So, however, for right now, Governor DeWine has no plans, he says, to bring back mask mandates or limit crowds. However, he is pushing vaccinations. Everybody seems to be doing that, no matter where they stand on the mask.
You know, they do, and you know, the frustration is this thing is not over. You know, people are still being quarantined. People are still getting sick. So don't let your guard down so quickly.
Right, exactly. I mean, we do have to pay attention. I wish, we could just, kind of be oblivious to it and.
Yes, you're right. And so here's the deal, though.
We don't want to do all that again, do we?
No, we do not. Here's the deal. They've already said if you are vaccinated and you've been exposed, to someone with COVID, you don't have to quarantine. You don't have to do that whole 10-day, thing. So that's reason in itself for me to just say, hey, I have my vaccine. I'm good. Like, leave me alone.
That's the big debate right now, of course, with once again, a lot of squawking going on both sides of the debate on that. Whether, you should be safe because you're vaccinated.
Very polarizing.
Because of the thought that happened, as things started to go down and people were getting more vaccination. You get the vaccination, we're all right.
Yep.
And, of course, they wanted more people to get vaccinated than did. But the thought was if you got vaccinated, you were all right. And, of course, the people now at the state level or at the federal level, President Biden, the CDC, what their argument is on the comeback is that, well, now the science has changed and we've got this Delta variant. So, I don't know. But the Ohio State University, Ohio University, and the University of Cincinnati now all have indoor mask mandates. Those have happened in the last 2 or 3 days. 4 major Columbus hospitals have announced that they will require their employees to receive the vaccine by the end of the year.
Boy, I can see a big fight about that.
Right. And right now, that cannot happen in the schools, though, because there are some staffers and, of course, students that are unvaccinated. Right now, there is legislation that Governor DeWine has signed that prohibits public schools from requiring any vaccine that's not been approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and from discriminating against any unvaccinated individual.
Okay.
In other words, you can't treat them any differently because they made that choice not to vaccinate. So, once again, we will be seeing what happens. On the local scene, Jackson County Health Commissioner Kevin Ashton spoke at the Jackson Rotary Club this meeting this week. Our Trevor Bailey was there to cover that. He's working on a story, but the thrust of it was that there have been increased cases locally, not like a big surge, but there have been increased cases, and he cannot say right now whether the Delta variant is at play. He has no proof that it is. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, based on what has happened in the past, I think that the local decisions, other than at the schools, they've had to make their own decisions with the school year starting here in a couple weeks. The mandates that come down from the health department are probably going to come because of what happens at the federal and state level. They're going to take their cue from those state health and governmental officials at both the state and federal level. Speaking of gatherings, we have one coming up this week at Pig Iron Day. That's this Saturday at Jackson's Manpower Park.
Oh, fun.
And it will be, it's always a great family day. There is Chris O'Boyle at the grill doing his brats and hot dogs. Does a great job. I imagine he'll be back next year. Wendell Vermillion there is shown in the background, kind of supervising. But Pig Iron Day is food service will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. They've got low-cost food. Some of it's even free, but they've got low-cost sandwiches of brats, hot dogs, of course the roast pork sandwiches. You can, if you want to put barbecue sauce on, you can do that yourself. They'll have soup beans in the old iron kettle, cornbread. There will be no COVID-19 restrictions in place, although the food service people, they'll be wearing masks and have their head coverings and all like that. They will be careful. Condiments will be prepackaged, so everybody's not handling salt shakers and barbecue dispensers and like that. So they're also offering for the second straight year, partially because of COVID-19 concerns, and also because it worked out last year, they're going to offer carry-out service where you can drive into the bus garage off Huron Street.
Yes.
And you can drive all the way back to the fence next to Manpower Park, and you can actually call in an order ahead of time, Call Dave Channel on his cell phone. He's made that public.
He's lost his mind.
740-418-8086 is the number. You can call, place your order, and come and pick that up and have, very little contact that way, and they might sell more sandwiches that way too.
Never know.
So that will be Saturday. They're also planning to do, and you can call Dave on this too, limited delivery within the city of Jackson. So that's even
Cool.
something more. But in addition to the food service, which has always been very popular, and of course this is at Manpower Park, they will be having a plaque auction where they'll raise a little bit of money by selling the commemorative plaques that honor Pig Iron Day, dated plaques, and then specialized plaques that commemorate old iron furnaces in Jackson County. And the two featured plaques this year are Limestone and Cornell. Those are two furnaces that once existed in Jackson County. They've about run through all their furnaces now. They've been doing this for a number of years. But the limestone furnace actually still exists, and the Historical Society now owns it. It's off CH&D Road.
Really?
Right, and so anybody can go see it. They've
How have I not known about that?
They've mowed the grass, so it's easier to get back to it, and I know that they want to probably do a little bit more to develop it, but it's there to be seen at least.
Cool.
But also at Pig Iron Day, Jennifer, you can get the commemorative pig iron bars. That's a gift. It's a souvenir of the day, and OSCO donates the pig iron bars as well as the plaque. So kudos to them for that. In addition, there'll be inflatables for the kiddies. There'll be a little baton exhibition earlier in the day or earlier in the morning, and there will also be the Wheels of Steel car show. The registration will take place in the morning, and then in the afternoon, all the cars and vehicles will be on display, and they'll do awards late in the afternoon. That's the Appalachia Old Car Club. They've always done that in collaboration with the Jackson Firefighters Association, which is the main entity which organizes and coordinates Pig Iron Day. They will have help the firefighters from the Liberty Township Fire Department and the Jackson Area Kiwanis Club.
Cool.
Also, we want to tell you that down south, work continues to be done on Davis Stadium. Remember, they have a big turf replacement and track repair project, and Red Thompson Jr. was down there on Tuesday, and as you can see,
it's looking good.
the new turf is down, and Red says it looks wonderful. We're trying to get information from school officials to see if they're on schedule. It is a bit of a push to get done before football season.
Yes.
But Oak Hill does not have a football game until the second week of the season. That would be Friday, August the 27th, and that is when they hope to be able to have that football field in use. The football field and stadium is officially closed until August the 20th. That was the date that they had, and that was still on their website today. But there is still a lot of work going on, and I know the work on the track will go on into the fall a little bit.
Okay.
And they'll have to put down protective coverings and where they're working on the track, because it goes around the football field. And of course, track season is not until spring, so they have plenty of time to complete that work. Hey, we want to point out that last week the Benton County Fair livestock sale was held in conjunction with the fair. It was held last Friday, and if you haven't seen Wednesday's paper yet, it is full of pictures from that sale, and it's basically a testament to the kids that raised those animals and the buyers that stepped up to give them good prices for their animals. But all those pictures are in Wednesday's paper if you have not seen it yet. We thank Red Thompson Jr. and Trevor Bailey for doing all that work last Friday and Saturday, getting that ready for publication. Okay, also, because I know our time is waning, the Jackson County Commissioners will meet in special session tomorrow at 8:30 a.m., and it could be a very important meeting. They'll start off in executive session, but at some point they are expected to approve a resolution on the national opioid settlement. You know, you've heard of that, where there was, the governments took action against some of the pharmaceutical companies because of all the opioid problems.
Okay.
Well, they filed a lawsuit and they won, and there is a lot of cash that is coming to governmental units, which is basically a payoff to the public for the scourge of all the overdoses that happen because of opioid overdoses. Now, what Jackson County may get, we may or may not know tomorrow, but they will be passing a resolution about that. And I know that what was done in Ohio was under the direction of Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. It was like they bundled everybody together in one lawsuit, and then they're going to divvy up the money.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
we'll see what happens there. All right, and also we want to invite everybody once again to John Boy's retirement party today.
This is the most important story of the day.
Right, and this is a public thing. Hey,
Yes.
anybody can come. It's at Stockroom 601 this afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. And this will be a chance for anybody to come up and wish John well. There may be a few surprises there as well. Food and drinks will be available. We want to emphasize that you don't have to be like a close personal friend, a family member, or a former employee.
Everyone come.
This is for anybody who wants to come and wish John well, and we want you to come and do that.
You know, that's right, and he's affected, not affected is not the good word, but touched so many people's lives throughout his years, whether it be on radio or, you know, with the church or any of the organizations that he has certainly been involved in. And we hope that you stop by and see John 2 to 4 today at Stockroom 601. That's the old Jolly Lounge, if you don't know what that is. And, you know, he would love to see you.
I know he would. He is a real people person,
He is.
and I know it will mean a lot to him.
Absolutely.
All right, well, very good.
All right, well, Pete, thank you so much. And, of course, Pete's Morning News Update brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell or have any real estate needs, call Nia. She's the one, 740-418-4135, and she'll work hard for you. All right, got to get out of here for the day. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks to you for coming up. Thanks to our good friend Justin Gambino for stopping by, and make sure that you buy tickets or get those tickets for his show at the Markay this coming Saturday.
All right, well,
Yep.
very good. Thank you.
Of course, have a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.